The Dynasty running back class of 2026 is a big, giant oof. Please put the sound effect, the oof sound effect in there. Here it goes. Oof. There you go. That's what this is. This is oof. And, we can't look back and give ourselves some perspective here. And Nate said this the other day. It's nothing like the Jonathan Brooks class.
Yeah, that was worse.
It's something like it, but it's not. You have Love. Without Love, it would be worse than that class because there were more guys in the upside tier from a running back perspective than that class. But regardless, there are some things to talk about. This may be the shortest video we ever put out in the history of our lives, but we are going to talk about it anyway. With ranking these running backs and giving you the updated analytics on all of these guys. We'll start with Jeremiah Love from Arizona, or drafted by Arizona from Notre Dame. Third overall pick in the NFL draft. Again, when you're talking about his bakery score, I don't even want to spend too much time on this. Second overall all-time behind Bijan Robinson. He was a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. He's ahead of Saquon, Todd Gurley, Ashton Jeanty, Ezekiel Elliott, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, and Christian McCaffrey. His profile is higher than them analytically. Tells you all you need to know. He's the clear 101 in Dynasty drafts. He's the clear. He honestly, in this particular, you could make the argument there is like legitimately a blank tier between him and Price this year, and then another blank tier between Bryce and the rest of the field. Price and the rest of the field. Yeah. It is like legitimately that bad. But with Love, the profile, the film, everything you want out, the landing spot is fine. Talking about fitting in Arizona, obviously they do have Trey Benson, they do have James Conner, and they did sign Tyler Algier, who got Algiered, ironically enough, this year as well. But with Tyler Algier, he was getting paid $6 million a year. We kind of knew when we saw the contract, like, they may try to bring in somebody else. I think the smoke around Love coming there wasn't really prevalent until like 3 days before the draft, but then it ended up coming true. Best player available, so they did take the best player on the board at that point. And he goes to an offense with Marv. He goes to an offense with Trey McBride, Michael Wilson. He goes to an offense where I think they have a lot of weapons there right now. I think he's going to be pretty good there as well. I really thought he was landing spot independent no matter what. There was going to be nothing that drug him down in my rankings and in the bakery as well, which is also completely separate from landing spot. Does not take that into account. And so with that being said, Arizona, it's a fine location for him. I don't mind this landing spot at all, and he is the clear S tier. He is one of the best running back prospects we have ever graded from an analytics standpoint and from a film standpoint. So congratulations if you got Jeremiah Love. He's a first-round Dynasty startup pick pretty much right off the rip here.
Yeah, then we got Bryce in his own tier. In the A tier, again, a massive drop-off after him as well. He really, through the pre-draft process, really started to separate himself from Jonah Coleman, and he ended up going at the high end that we thought was possible for him, 32nd overall to Seattle. This was one where, again, we're not necessarily elevating Price in like our overall rookie rankings just because he got first round draft capital. We actually liked Price. We liked his film. It was just hard to analyze that film because there's such little sample size that we had because he's the backup running back to Jeremiah Love, and his usage went down and down and down towards the end of the year as they ramped up Jeremiah Love's usage at the end of the season. But going to Seattle, replacing Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet really probably not likely to start the season, probably going to start the season on the pup because he tore his ACL in the playoffs in like January. I mean, this is a really great opportunity for Price to just hit the ground running. Like week 1, immediately get, a majority of the usage. I'm very interested to see what happens there in Seattle. Again, we've kind of exhausted all the analytics and all the talk about him. He has, again, elevated himself over everybody else in the bakery at the running back position. He's in now that green tier. The only other first round running back that's in that green tier with him is Josh Jacobs. Not a big enough sample size for us to say, oh, he's going to be Josh Jacobs or anything like that. But, it's not necessarily a negative thing either. So nice to see for him. Again, a little higher than we would have taken him in the draft. We thought he was a true second round type of prospect at the running back position, but we are happy nonetheless to see him go here. This definitely helps kind of that mid-range of your first round draft picks in the rookie class this year. And then this is where it gets really ugly in the B tier.
Yeah, again, past this, it's like, okay, we kept waiting on day 2 for running backs to go, and one did go, and it was Kaylan Black from Indiana, which, by the way, we love you, Kaylan. And people who are trashing Kaylan Black on Twitter, just admit you don't know ball. Just admit you never watched. Just say it's fine. You're just telling on yourself by doing that. But regardless, Black's not going to be in this tier because you do have to take the running backs that kind of go to the situations where they could make an impact over a Kaylan Black, who does have some value as a handcuff. But guys like Jonah Coleman, The Jonah Coleman selection by the Broncos, obviously he fell and didn't go until what was it? The four,
like early mid fourth,
or the four, yeah, one of the fourth round picks here. He did he go in the fourth? Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. The 4-8. There we go. Yeah, 4-8. So it goes in the fourth. Early fourth is not bad. You saw Cam Scatterbo go in the early fourth last year. You saw Bashal Tutin go in the early fourth last year.
I think Coleman with early fourth round draft capital is the 5th highest graded day 3 running back in the bakery. So,
actually, that's very interesting. Okay, so yeah, when you're looking at him this year, because he's in that same tier as Scatterbo was. The 108th pick, and he does fall in that the upside tier there. And when you're looking at the upside tier guys for round 3 selections, or round 4 selections, there's been 8 of them. And 3 of them have been running back 3s, 2 of them have been running back 2s, and 1 of them has had a running back 1 season. But to Nate's point, again, the point kind of we were making last year with Cam Scatterbo and Bashal Tutin both was that in terms of the 4th round prospects there, like they were at the time the 2 highest. Braylon Allen and Bucky Irving now are moved up a little bit with some tweaks we made to the bakery. But the 5 highest guys in the history of the bakery that have been drafted in the 4th round, in fact, like Nathan said, the highest guys that have been drafted on day 3 in the bakery ever: Cam Scatterbo, Braylon Allen, Bucky Irving, Bashal Tutin, and Jonah Coleman. Pretty good company there, right? And so I think Jonah Coleman's a pretty good.
All of them except Braylon went into open situations.
Exactly, and this is I think this is classified as an open situation. I don't think this is super great for RJ Harvey. Obviously, they play different roles, but like even J.K. Dobbins, like if J.K. Dobbins, trips on the ground and somehow tears his ACL again, or breaks his arm or his earlobe, like he
gets hurt every year.
You never know with those guys, and I don't think anybody has a super strong grasp on that running back room. And the Broncos again kind of went out of their way to take another running back here with Jonah Coleman in the 4th round. The other guys in this tier that have gone 4th or 5th round: DJ Giddens, Aaron Jones, Corey Krosky-Merritt, Jarquez Hunter, Ramondre Stevenson, Spiller, Carter, and Abanaconda. Even when you get past Coleman there's 3 or 4 guys there that held relevant dynasty value for some time. I still like Jonah Coleman. We like his profile. He's a really good pass protector. He runs obviously kind of like a bowling ball, downhill runner. He has a lot of knocks on his profile, and I understand that. He ran a 4.57, for example, but he is, of course, 220 pounds at 5'8", and that's kind of another thing. He's short, whatever. Regardless, he is in my opinion, the clear 3rd best running back in this class from an analytics standpoint. And he goes to a Denver situation where I think you're going to have to monitor what's happening there. The other one here, the one right below him, the running back 4 in the bakery this year, is Nick Singleton. Nick Singleton has a ton of holes in his profile. Really what this is an upside shot. This is a guy with terrible vision that is athletic as crap for his size and can absolutely be a receiving threat out of the backfield. That's what he is. He's a plus receiver, and he's an athletic freak. He is 6 foot, 219 pounds, and he runs a 4.35 at 220 pounds. He is the same weight as Jonah Coleman, and he runs 0.2 of a second faster than him in the 40-yard dash. That is downright impressive from an athleticism standpoint. Here's the problem. Everybody's known that forever. Everybody's known this from the beginning of time, when Nick Singleton actually at Penn State at the beginning of his career was semi-competent as a running back.
Debbie Darling.
And then him and Katron Allen just kind of reverse in terms of the rushing capability there, the rushing production there. And when you're looking at the round, where was he? Was round 5, right?
Yep.
Round 5 upside light tier. There's been 15 of those guys. 5 of those 15 guys have had a running back 3 season. 4 of the 15 had a running back 2, and 2 of them had a running back 1 season. And so, actually, all things considered, he could be in a lot worse company. He could be in a lot worse company here when it comes to his analytics relative to where he was drafted. And so, again, a 5th round pick. Obviously, we would have liked to see some of these guys go higher, but confirmed he is, again, the 5th highest 5th round pick running back in the bakery. The difference, I think, here between him and a Jonah Coleman is the 5 guys above him are Giddens, Aaron Jones, hit, Bonaconda, Audrey Gasame, Jordan Howard, and then of course Nick Singleton. Shout out Jordan Howard, by the way. But and then Chase Brown is right below Nicholas Singleton as well.
Nice.
So there are some guys down here. Kyron Williams is in this tier. Kenneth Gainwell was in this tier. So some of these guys, Jordan James, we've been talking about him. And of course, Emmett Johnson also falls in this tier. But the reason that we're going to have Singleton in this tier and not Emmett Johnson is because of the immediate opportunity in Tennessee. Looking at the depth chart, you have Tony Pollard there. You have Tyjae Spears there. I mean, this really is a wide open running back room. So it's a combination of analytical profile and opportunity. Coleman is more the analytical profile. Singleton's more the opportunity. But both of them, in our opinion, present more ceiling than the guys below them in this tier. And so we're going to rank them both in this B tier, and we're going to prefer them probably where you're getting them. We just did a Dynasty rookie draft that we did our first one. We recorded it here a couple minutes ago, and you saw both of these guys go in the second round. And I think this is, perfectly normal. I think that that's where you're going to see these guys go. You saw Singleton go at the 2-3 and Coleman at the 2-4. They're going to be early mid-seconds this year, and I think that's where they should be taken because of the upside and the situations that they're going into. So regardless, these are guys that I think you're preferring over the guys in the C, D, and E tier. And as you look at these guys' bakery score, I think it's pretty clear that there are some pretty stark tier drop-offs following this. And so if you want to take a look at the full bakery, if you want to use the rookie draft analyzer tool that we built to dominate your rookie drafts, you also want to get 2 free team blueprints for a limited time when you sign up. You can use code domain annual motherflocker tier. Our entire rookie draft suite is included. You can get in a league, join the Discord, get all the tools that we're using for our rookie drafts. And so check it out, link below. Again, limited time, you get 2 free team blueprints for 2 of your dynasty teams with rookie draft blueprints as well when you use code domain annual motherflocker tier. Down to the C tier.
Yeah, one of the surprise picks of day 2 was Kalen Black going in the 3rd round to San Fran. Didn't even get a combine invite, which we thought was ridiculous. Went higher than anyone expected, including us as well. We like Kalen Black. He is 25 years old, goes to backup CMC. He's an insurance option. Again, I've said this in previous videos. I'll echo it again. We have multiple case studies in San Francisco and in Carolina where running backs behind CMC, once he gets injured, increase in value like crazy over a very short amount of time because they're just the next man up and they end up producing for a very short amount of time. And then that's when you kind of shop them and capitalize, get a small value win. It's a definition of a JAG insurance asset, and that's really what Kalen Black is going to be. We'll see what his role ends up being in this offense beyond that. I know there's been talk in the front office about wanting to lighten CMC's workload in terms of his snap share. I would guess probably not his touches, but maybe on some passing down sets, maybe you have Kalen Black in the backfield as a pass pro back because that was one of his strengths in college. That's definitely a possibility. But again, as expected, we did see a couple of those day 3 running backs go into ambiguous situations and jump them, and Black just kind of settled in this C tier as an insurance guy behind one of the best running backs in the NFL. Kalen Black, if you hold on to him, you're basically just, again, hoping that at some point this season you can capitalize on a value if CMC goes down for a short amount of time, or maybe a long amount of time. That's also possible. Really, at the end of the day, we don't have many analytical comps for Kalen Black because the tier that he falls in the bakery, there are only 2 other 3rd round running backs that have gone where Kalen Black has gone there. And that is Alexander Mattison and Darrington Evans. I like the Alexander Mattison comp. Again, not enough data points to really give him a comp, but Mattison, you kind of saw the similar type of situation where he gets that draft capital, is behind a alpha bell cow running back in Dalvin Cook, who goes down, gets injured. Mattison gains a ton of value and is one of the most valuable handcuffs in the league for a couple of years because anytime Cook goes down, you know that Mattison is going to fill his shoes and have a couple of 15-point games and kind of right the ship for you in your flex spot for a bit of time. So if you wanted to kind of compare Kalen Black to that type of guy in terms of what that usage is going to look like, I think that's very, very reasonable. And again, I don't think anybody's denying here that this was a reach, but there was a reason that they spent a 3rd round pick on Kalen Black, whether you like that reasoning or not. This is the reality, and we're here. I know they've done this with Trey Sermon. I know they've done this with TDP. Is it possible that this is just another TDP Trey Sermon situation? Absolutely. I do think that Kalen Black, as mature and old as he is, honestly, as a prospect, absolutely ancient, they want to use him in some ways and give him some snaps to a point where he's gonna get some sort of rotational work there in San Fran's offense as early as this season. So he's going to be in this tier again. There's nothing to write home about. He's going to be a 3rd round pick in most of your drafts, and I do think he's a nice little selection there as an insurance option behind CMC. Emmett Johnson, exact same sort of situation, right? Except he goes day 3 of the NFL draft. He's the insurance play behind Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's getting paid all the money. Kenneth Walker's going to get all of the work as long as he's healthy. Kenneth Walker is pretty much certified injury prone. And if he misses time, Emmett Johnson's going to have a chance to get some work there. You've also got, some other people in that depth chart that might end up getting some work there as well. They took a shot on Brashard Smith in the 7th round last year. He might, have to fight for some work with him. Again, you never know if one of these guys will or won't make the team, where they're going to end up landing on the depth chart. But if you want to take a shot on Emmett Johnson as an insurance play, I'm totally okay with it. Analytically, it ain't anything pretty at all. I'm just telling you that. And then Katron Allen. Katron Allen is very similar to Coleman and Singleton, where he's in a kind of a wide open running back room where anybody could take over that job. The reason he's a tier below Coleman and Singleton is analytically, we don't really like him as much, and he gets worse draft capital by quite a bit. He ends up going in like the late 6th round, as opposed to Singleton getting solid 5th round draft capital, Coleman going early 4th round. Katron Allen going to be at the bottom of that orange tier below Mike Washington, who's, again, a 4th round selection as a backup to Ashton Genty. Like, this is the conversation that we're having with Katron. It's not super pretty for him at all, but again, it wasn't pretty analytically for Corey Crossy-Mara either, and he carved out a role last year and you got a big value in if you took a shot on him in the offseason. So that's in the cards for Katron. If he makes some noise in training camp, if he opens eyes like everybody likes to talk about in August and in July and August, like you're looking at a decent value in if it works out. So it's a nice little jag upside shot.
The D's tier may be the most prestigious, depending on where you're from and who you hang out with, tier in this entire running back rankings video because Elijah Heidenreich. And yes, people are going to say, oh, he went in the 7th. Oh, he went to Pittsburgh. And I don't think you understand. I'm happy he got drafted, okay? And that was always going to be the case with Heidenreich. I was hoping it would be like rounds 4 through 6. It wasn't. Shouldn't be too surprised, right? This guy, again, the big concern with him always was he's pretty small. And when you're looking analytically at Heidenreich, he graded out much better as a wide receiver than he did a running back. And it did say running back when it came across the screen here just a mere couple minutes ago when we saw it. We were watching the very back end of this draft right now. And we'll talk about somebody else that just went here in a minute. But with Heidenreich, my guy, our guy. So we're going to put him where we want to put him, and we're going to draft him in the 4th round, and you can't stop us. And if I think that Rico Dowdle or Jalen Warren's going to stop my boy from performing on the field, like...
Yeah, if you want to clown us for this, like, quit being a weenie. This is literally the worst 4th round we've ever seen in any rookie draft ever. For the love, let us take a 7th round shot on a guy who is so versatile as a receiver and a running back.
Just for reference.
Seriously.
We're allowed to have fun playing Dynasty Fantasy Football. Yeah. And this is our guy. We like him. So
the analytics across the board are awful here. It doesn't matter who you take. If you prefer Washington or Claiborne or Adam Randall or Seth McGowan, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, like, Ryan just texted me and said Caleb Johnson erasure, which is what's happening. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. Caleb Johnson still exists, but Heidenreich, I don't know, man. He's pretty... Anyway, we're having fun with this, obviously. Hopefully, don't read too far into this. And like Nathan said, quit being a weenie. Come on. Yeah. What a freaking fall from grace for Mike Washington, dude.
Yeah.
Remember when he's going to go in the second?
He actually, like, the draft capital was decent enough, and it was to the Raiders.
Yeah, which...
Like a cornerstone established running back that he's never going to take the lead role over Ashton Genty. Like, this is literally only an injury play.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, you could make the argument that he should be the tier above this because you're making the same exact argument for Kaylan Black. The difference is it's CMC, and CMC's handcuffs typically hold more
30,
value.
And Genty's 22.
Sure, and so I do think you could make the argument to put Washington in the tier above this, and if you want to do that, I have to stress this to you as much as I possibly can. Go for it. Like,
yeah.
There is not a wrong answer with ranking these running backs. And so if you are, having a super strong opinion about the D and F tier in these running back rankings this year,
cool.
You might be clinically insane because again, I mean, you can put Seth McGowan in the A tier for all I care. I don't even care at this point. So with Mike Washington, I always do that. What a fall from grace, man. Remember when he was going to go in the 132 to the Seahawks or maybe the 2nd round of the Seahawks? As it turns out, 4th round draft capital. He's drafted to be what he is, a borderline backup running back in the NFL. And so you'll see him maybe split a couple rotational carries with Ashton Genty there. And then Devon Claiborne went to Minnesota. And, analytically, Claiborne's nothing special. And this really isn't anything that I think makes any tangible of a difference in the Vikings running back room. He's currently the running back 3 on the depth chart there. And when you're looking at his Bakery score, he's in purgatory. So, yeah, it doesn't get much worse than this. It's just a matter of he's a tier above these last guys because of the situation. That's literally the only reason. And then I'm just going to finish it. F tier is Adam Randall. He went to Baltimore. And the Colts evidently took Seth McGowan while we were recording this.
We'll see if he makes the team.
I mean,
a lot of film guys like Seth McGowan. He's another guy that's like 65 years old. If he makes the team, maybe he'll be the 2nd guy there. You've seen number 2 running backs behind JT be absolutely irrelevant ever since he's been in the league, with the exception of Nyheim Hines. So we're not expecting anything from these guys.
It was always going to be a tough year for running backs. That kind of showed itself in this video, but we trek on, and we still do live in one of the, in my opinion, golden ages of dynasty running backs right now with Bijan Gibbs and Genty and Love and Achane and Hampton, all of those guys.
Price did us a real huge solid this year.
Price is pretty nice. He is the right price, in my opinion. So drop a like on the video if you enjoy the NFL draft and rookie draft content. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And again, if you want to take advantage of the sale, get 2 free team blueprints when you sign up with code DOMAIN. Check it out in the link below. Helps support the channel, helps us put together all these videos. Our fantastic team who's working behind the scenes right now to get all these edited and released for you guys. So we love you. We appreciate you, and we'll catch you here soon with another vid.